This is Sachin Gaur from the India EU ICT Standards Project. Hope you can hear me. So I can see that some of you have already logged in, maybe more will log in. So you can type your questions using the questions tab if you have any. So I'll keep watching the questions tab if you have any questions. So I'll take quickly 10 minutes or so to give you an overview of the hackathon, and then I will start answering the questions if there are any. So as you know, we are having this hackathon on 15-16 April in College of Engineering Pune. Can I just ask you maybe to reply through the chat? How many have already, let's say, feel that you have done your preparation well for the hackathon? So you can keep typing your answers in chat. So for example, when I say preparation, I would mean, let's say you have done the MOOC course on 1M, 2M, you have identified really well how you are going to implement your idea, you have booked your tickets, so on and so forth. So how many of you have done that? Can you type through the chat and let me know if you have done that? So while you do that, I'll go ahead and tell you more about the hackathon. So I hope you can see my slides. So I'm going to talk about 5 things. I'm going to briefly talk about hackathon overview, motivation, why should you participate in the hackathon, and also a bit about challenges, the MOOC, selection, and some frequently asked questions. So first of all, as you know, hackathon is on 15-16 April in College of Engineering Pune. The hackathon is based on smart city problems and it is supported by Pune Smart City. So we are actually going to have people from the Pune Smart City participating for next 2 days. So if they like your idea, they are going to actually adopt it in Pune Smart City. So I think this is a very big motivation for anybody who wants to impact, let's say, a city in India. So I don't know many hackathons where an actual smart city has participated and, let's say, considered very seriously the ideas that will be proposed. Of course, many of you have not read the website fully, but if you have not, you can actually go to this link and read more about the hackathon. On a daily basis, we are adding some more content, some more details about the hackathon. For example, today we have published the list of selected teams. So right now the count is 27 that we have uploaded on the website. So we welcome you all, and also I want to congratulate you because this selection or the number of entries we got were more than 260. So out of 260, getting into the top 27 from all over the country is already a good achievement. So congratulations to all of you. And we have also shared some accommodation details which College of Engineering Pune has provided. Unfortunately, there are not many places for accommodation. So if you are not getting accommodation from College of Engineering Pune, I advise you to already look something which is close by and affordable. We expect you to be there on the morning of 15th April because we will start the registration already on 15th. The way we will identify that your team is through your team leader. So we expect your team leader to come with a government ID and show it to Mr. Alok Chaudhary and identify yourself during the registration. So if you can already be there by 9 a.m. on 15th morning, so you will not miss anything. The way we will organize this hackathon is that we are going to have a tutorial on the first day. So while you can already work on your problem statement at your home, the idea is to make you very good, much like an expert, in this 1M 2M standard. And why is it so? I will explain to you in few minutes. But why it is important for you to understand this from a hackathon perspective, because as you know, the prize for winning this hackathon is for a 4-member team, a fully paid trip to Europe. So in our past hackathons, which we have organized, 2 hackathons, one in IISc Bangalore and one in IIIT Hyderabad, we have seen that the winners have been really happy after visiting Europe, because we send them to one of the leading startup event normally in Europe. So it not only checks the box of visiting Europe, but it also exposes them to a very high quality event where they can build network and maybe find more opportunities. Now, very importantly, why the 15th is very important for you is if there are some technical doubts that you might have, So we are having 2 professors coming all the way from France, Thierry Montel and Samir Medja, who are one of the implementers of open source version of 1M 2M. It's called OM2M. I believe most of you have done the course already on OM2M, and you are fully prepared. But just in case you have any last minute doubts, you have some struggle, Thierry and Samir can help you. We are also going to have Mr. Laurent Velles, who is from the 1M2M standard body. I just got news yesterday that 1M2M as a standards project has got the best standards body in the world award yesterday. So what you are learning is definitely something very, very important and interesting. As I said, that the hackathon is based on smart city challenges. So we are having 5 challenges this time, and most of you are selected, or all of you are selected for some challenge. So those 5 challenges are on energy efficiency. As you know, cities have a lot of buildings, and buildings consume a lot of energy. So it is very important to make buildings energy efficient. Second, we have pollution monitoring. You also know that many cities in India are struggling with pollution. And third is that we have smart healthcare. Fourth is what we have is disaster management. And fifth is on women safety. All of you have sent brilliant ideas, but as you know, ideas are dime a dozen. What is important is a good implementation. And why learning about 1M, 2M or standard is that once you build your solution, you can sell it anywhere in the world. So that's the important part of learning a standard. And that is why we made it compulsory for you to do the MOOC already, so that while you attend the tutorial, you are quite comfortable, building your project on top of it. So moving ahead, what we are also doing very innovative this time. So for example, Pune Smart City has some 200 live sensors on which are doing pollution monitoring. So they are going to provide us an API by which you can access that live data. So this has not been done ever in India, right? So you are going to get, apart from the hardware kit, you will also have access to the APIs of Pune Smart City. So if you want to know where in Pune, what is the pollution level right now, you can also have the actual live data of Pune. So we are having some research team from IISc Bangalore, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, who are going to provide you access to these APIs, and they will also give you a very short tutorial, half an hour. And we will also send you by email the details on how to use these APIs. So as again I said that this kind of a hackathon has not been done in India before, where you have access to real live data of a smart city. So apart from the sensors and the kits that we provide, you will also have access to the live data. So this is just a quick overview of the hackathon. So you can type your questions if you have any. But I now go to a very interesting part, and of course, I imagine that many of you are motivated to participate in this hackathon because you want to go to Europe, you want to have a good time, with your Euro trip. But I want to tell you the story of our previous winner, Suraj. I don't know how many of you have seen the testimonial of Suraj. It's available on our hackathon website, but I just got this photo yesterday. So after our hackathon, Suraj joined as a research staff in IIIT Hyderabad. And this photo that you can see on my screen is from yesterday, where he's teaching yesterday in an IoT course to IIIT students about using 1M 2M standard. So imagine the effort that Suraj did, it has already made him an expert, and he's already able to, let's say, make money by teaching other students about the standard. So I would say that, in a hackathon, winner is only one. But when there are many participants, what is there for the participant? The participants, they actually benefit because of the exposure, because of the knowledge. And since you are very selected few in the country who would get a very high quality training uh, from our experts, many of you could actually, you know, become such experts like Suraj and use it for your career, use it, to, let's say, make money, launch startups, do good things in life. So I believe this is also a good enough motivation for you. Now coming to the next point, this is about challenges that you know already. Then I have a question from Namrata. So Namrata, you have a good question. You have said, please summarize what should we read before we come for session, right? So Namrata, there are three parts, where any hackathon you can be successful. One is the part where is your idea, which is very unique, very creative. So you should look at what is the real problem that you are solving. Of course, we have provided the challenges, but when you solve that challenge, how realistic is your solution? Is it affordable? So and so forth. So one part of it is your idea, which only you can work upon. The second part is technical part. So if you have done this MOOC that you can see on my slide, that is already something that you can do in advance. Third is how much you have already worked on your idea. So if you have received our email today, we have sent in the morning about the software requirements. So if you don't waste your time installing things on the spot, but come prepared with everything already installed, that is the idea why we are having this webinar today. So does that answer your question, Namrata? Would you remember the three things that you need to do? One is think more about your idea. How can you make it more real so that Pune can actually adopt your idea? Second is you actually do the MOOC so that you know more about the standard. And third is that you actually already, if possible, start developing it, start installing all the softwares on a laptop so that when you are there in Pune, you already have something to showcase to your mentors and they are able to help you to improve it, right? So that is how you do it, Namrata. So now I go back to my slides. So I go to the next part, which is FAQs. So of course, many of you have called me, they have spoken to me, and I might be a bit, let's say, angry on some of you because sometimes people are not reading the information that is there on the website, and you can imagine if 250 teams from all over India are calling me day and night, how many people I can answer the same question, right? So it is not a good idea for me to repeat information. That is why we want to have a FAQ. So we have an FAQ section on our website. Based on your questions, we'll keep improving it. But I request you, before you message me, call me, or write me an email, please check the website, right? So I will answer some of your questions here, but I welcome you to type more questions using the questions tab, and I am here for you to answer your questions. So Prasanna has a question, how we can build an app in Eclipse OM2M. So Prasanna, that is precisely why you need to do the MOOC, That is precisely why we are organizing the tutorial on 15th. So even if you do not, let's say, with your own efforts are able to build, but by the end of 15th evening, we can guarantee you that you will be knowledgeable to build an app on OM2M. But that is the difference between winners and people who are not going to win. Winners are always going to prepare more in advance. That's why I suggest you come prepared, right? So Nilansh is also asking, one more question: can we build application on Android Studio instead of Eclipse? So that is a question which is a good question. I would say that use Eclipse, or at least use the 1M2M library, but you can write this question to me over email, and I will ask Samir to answer it. Samir and Thierry, as I said, they are our professors who are coming from France and who are the creators of OM2M. So I will ask them if we, allow this or not allow. But before, I take further questions, Prasanna and Nilansh, let me first answer the basic questions that I have written. So first question is, what are the charges for participating in the tutorial? So there are no charges for this training. What we provide is, for 2 days we provide you, breakfast, lunch, and evening snacks, right? And of course, we will provide you some IoT kits, basic IoT kits. You are free to bring your own sensors and kits. Some people have asked me, can they bring their faculty? Can they bring their mentors? Yes, we will allow them, but please don't bring more than two, right? Because we have to plan for the food and every other logistics. So we cannot have more than two mentors if you want to bring. Otherwise, definitely we have our own professors, as I said, who are going to be there available to help you. Then who can participate? We don't have any barrier. So all 27 of you, who have been selected, uh, should not have more than 4 people in their team, as I said, because our prize is for a 4 people team to go to Europe. Mentors are separate to it. So as I said, we cannot have more than 2 mentors. And somebody asked me that, can the mentor accompany us anywhere? Yes, they can be with you all the time. We have no objection with it. Now, who will cover my travel and stay? A lot of people have asked me. So we do not cover anybody's travel and stay. You are on your own. I hope you have booked your tickets and you have booked your accommodation. We did ask College of Engineering Pune to provide some nominal accommodation. They have accommodation for 30 boys and 15 girls, but I believe which is going to be more than the people that we have selected. So it might be tricky for all of you to get the same accommodation. Now, some people ask me, can they bring their own technical resources like more sensors, more kits? So we have no objection to it. We have only one consideration, that we will put 70% weightage on your idea on technical part, that if it is using 1M2M, we will give you a green card. If it is not using a 1M2M, you will not get 70% marks. So 30% marks are based on your, idea, how good is your solution, and 70% marks are based on your technical, which is your demo working? Have you implemented 1M2M? So that is why it is very important to understand the standard well, right? Then some people ask me that, they want to, you know, uh, change some of their team members. As I said, for us, what matters is that the leader, and the team leader can bring those 3 people. We circulated a form where we ask them to provide the details of your team. So even if at last minute you have to change your team member, it is okay with us, but team cannot be more than 4, and it is important for a team to be, let's say, allowed the team leader to be present, right? So we have selected team basis the team leader. Now again, I think I have answered the question, what will increase my chance of winning the hackathon? So maybe I am going to say it again and again, but a working demo is important. A working demo that uses 1M2M is important to get 70% of the marks. 30% is based on unique creative idea. So that's how you win this hackathon. Now the last part, what are the software requirements for the hackathon? So is there anybody in this list today who has not received our email on software requirements? If not, we are going to put it on our website and we will share the link with you uh, here if possible. I am going to ask my colleague if we can share the link with you. With this, I finish my presentation and invite you to ask me any questions if you have. Some of you have already asked me, Namrata, Nilansh. If there are any other questions, I can wait for another 10-15 minutes before we close this webinar for today. So over to you, use the questions tab and ask as many questions as you want.
And just 30 minutes over here, waiting for them. Come on, I'm waiting.
Okay, so there is a question from Hiten where we have to use Node-RED in the application. So Hiten, I don't know if you have idea of Node-RED, but Node-RED is a a very easy tool to build your application without any coding, right? So when Samir is going to teach you, how to build on 1M2M, he's going to use Node-RED. Okay, so Node-RED is basically an alternative of writing code, you know. So it is not compulsory, but it is used in the tutorial. So that is where Node-RED comes into picture. So when your question is where we have to use Node-RED in the application, you don't have to use it, but it is an easy way to build the application. So you can use it to build the application. So basically, it's in short, it is a IDE, integrated development environment, where you don't have to deal with the complexity of writing code, and you can do it by drag and drop. So Abhishek Sankar is asking, do we have to implement our whole idea over there? As I said, Abhishek, you can come prepared. Maybe a smart person is one whose idea is 80% done already, and they are using the help on next 2 days to improve the next 20%. You know, as you must have read or heard in Pareto principle, 80% of the work takes 20% of the time, and 20% of the work takes 80% of the time. So we would encourage you to, let's say, study as much possible in advance about 1M 2M. If possible, do some already some development, basic development, so that you are very clear, with the fundamentals, and you can focus more time on implementing your idea, right? As I said, even though in actual you might not be able to implement whole of your idea, but to show a working demo, if it is convincing to the jury, you get 70% marks, right? And 30% is based on your impact of your idea, and all that information is there on our website. So maybe that answers your question, Abhishek. Any other questions? Okay, so we have two more questions where Paresh is asking, can we use third-party cloud-based servers? So Paresh, I don't think using any third-party cloud-based server is an issue. As long as you are using the standard, you are free to use as many third-party, let's say APIs to do something done. Then Kushagra is asking, can't we use Android Studio for building apps? So Kushagra, we are not looking here to build an Android app, right? In some of the idea, maybe you need an Android app. Some of the ideas, maybe you don't need an Android app. Maybe you are able to showcase, using a web app. So don't think that hackathon is about building a mobile application, right? Many of the ideas, it is good to have a mobile application and it is good to have an Android app, but not all of them. And you can always do the same job that an Android app can do with a web application and many other ways. So we are not going to say that you have to use only Android Studio for building apps. Is that okay, Kushagra? But you are free to use it. You are free to build an app. So all of you, we also have a very good opportunity that we have our two experts, Samir and Thierry, here with us on the webinar. Samir, can you hear me? Thierry, can you hear me?
Yes. Hello, Sachin.
Yes. Hello.
Okay, so welcome to you both, and we have uh, some of the selected participants in this webinar today, and I have been answering some of their questions. But since you are here, so let me ask few questions to you on their behalf. So some of the people are asking, you know, can they use Android Studio instead of Eclipse to build the application? So do you have an answer for that?
Yes, of course. In order to develop the IoT application, you can use whatever tool you want in any programming language, because uh, 1M2M protocol is a RESTful protocol that is supported over HTTP. So if you can write HTTP request in any language, you can program your application in this language.
So if I am not wrong, Samir, my answer was that this hackathon is not about building an Android application. This hackathon
No,
is about solving
no.
the problem, implementing one end to end. So it can be a web
Yes,
app, it can be an Android app. So we are not necessarily saying that you have to build an Android app. Is that correct?
of course. It is not. Yes, it is not mandatory. The choice of the IoT application is up to you.
Yeah. Then somebody was asking, can they use third-party cloud servers?
The answer is yes, but I need to make some clarification because we had some similarities last time. The online service should be should not replace the role of 1M2M platform. For example, ThinkSpeak or something like this, let's say, is not allowed. You can use
Right.
any online service if it is to complement the 1M2M platform, but not to replace it.
Okay, somebody asked a very basic question, how to build an application using Eclipse 1M2M. So I said that's why precisely we are organizing the tutorial, but you will not benefit from the tutorial until unless, let's say, you are well prepared, let's say fully. So I advise them to do the MOOC. So do
Yes.
you think, Samir, is MOOC sufficient for anybody to learn how to build application using this Eclipse OM2M?
Yes, of course. Well, all the tutorials, even on the website of Eclipse or on the MOOC, are sufficient to learn about 1M2M and to start building your applications. So if you go through all the documentation, you are already ready to for the hackathon.
So somebody was asking, do we have to implement all of the idea over there? So I told them maybe it's a better approach to come prepared. Maybe the idea is already working and you're using, the hackathon and the tutorial to improve it further, to
Yes.
make it even better.
Yeah, we talk about that, and what we are searching is a representative prototype that you can build in 1 day and a half. So we are aware that in 1 day and a half you cannot build the entire solution. Your idea maybe is is there. So the idea of the hackathon is to build small prototype that can represent your solution. It's not your. We know that it cannot be your solution.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of smartness, Samir, that you have put in one sentence. So I think they have to think hard how to build a demo that represents the idea. Is that
Yes,
correct?
yes. This is the idea.
So there is one more question from Paresh Mishra, and he's asking, does 1M2M support MQTT protocol?
Yes, one of the three protocols that are already supported by OM2M are MQTT, CoAP protocol, and HTTP. So these are the three of the four bindings defined in 1M2M protocol.
But they should be very carefully about the payload in MQTT. It's quite specific with 1M2M.
Yeah, they need to respect the 1M2M protocol.
Right, right. So I think I'm right in saying that then the more they read about the standard, the more chances they have to winning the hackathon. Because a lot of people are asking me, what should they do in advance? So I think they should definitely do the MOOC. They should definitely try already developing something so that when they come and meet you physically, Thierry and Samir, they are able to improve it more. Is that a good idea?
Yes, and also we should insist that it is mandatory to use 1M2M request inside the application. So we need to see that there is some call of on 1M2M API in the application.
Okay, so somebody has a very probably a different kind of question, which is Nilansh Khurana. He's asking, can we use PHP MyAdmin as a database and PHP scripts?
Yes, yes. If you can make some request on HTTP and request on OM2M platform, yes, you can use on PHP and other things to show information, and also use another database to push information in their own database.
Okay. Now there's one more question from Prasanna. I think Prasanna is looking to prepare well. So his question is, are there any other resources to learn OM2M other than MOOC? So apart from the MOOC that we have provided theory, have you guys created any other resources for OM2M?
On the MOOC, you have also some links on web page. For example, for Node-RED, there's a link to my own web page. There's also some resources on the Eclipse website. So there are several tutorials on Eclipse website. So yes, with the MOOC on the Eclipse, and you have all the information on links to find all necessary codes on tutorial to learn ONM2M on OM2M.
Okay, so somebody asked a very interesting question and I already answered it. So Samir and Thierry, you can add more to my answer or you can correct it. So they asked where we have to use Node-RED in the application. And my answer was that Node-RED is more like a, method to develop applications. It's not you have to use it necessarily. You can develop an application without Node-RED also. It's just that it enables faster prototyping by drag and drop. So is that a correct answer, Samir and Thierry? And do you want to correct me?
Yes, it's true. It's another way to make calls to the ONM2M platform. And it's allow also to make easy connection with other platform like Twitter or to make some dashboard. But you can use any other tools, any other programming language to make some request to ONM2M. So it's not mandatory to use Node-RED. It's one tool that can help you if you already know Node-RED. You are true in your response, Sachin.
Yeah. So to all of you, my colleague has shared a link in the chat, which is about the software requirement that earlier in the day Samir shared with us. And I believe Samir has left. So I thank Samir for coming and answering questions. But Thierry, are you here for some more time?
Sorry, what do you say?
I'm saying Samir has left, I believe.
Yes.
But are you still here for a couple of minutes?
Yes, I stay.
Okay, so now we have one more question. So now the technical questions are increasing. So Kushagra Tandon is asking, can we use a single segment of our solution on 1M2M or whole of our solution should use 1M2M?
So it's a case of application with several parts. 1M2M should be used to collect information from sensors and also to activate the activator. This is the middle part in your application. So you should build application over 1M2M to get information from sensors or to activate the things. But after you can have some different parts of your application that connect to, I don't know, a Google Map or any other services outside if it's necessary for your application.
So if I may add to this theory, what you are looking, because you are also part of the main jury, apart from being a technical expert. So I think what you are looking is that a capability from the student or the team to demonstrate that they know 1M2M, right? So if
Yes,
they are
yes.
able to demonstrate to you that they know, they have knowledge of 1M2M in their demo, so that's what probably is the requirement. Correct?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
and we had in as a document to give for the jury a short scheme of how they use 1M2M, and to see in a scheme what are the different parts in the application, and what are the different usage of OM2M in this application.
Okay,
Yeah,
so now there is
and
a
also,
very basic question from Nilansh, and I think Nilansh, you have got it wrong, but let me clarify it with Thierry. So Thierry, Nilansh is asking if we are using HTTP protocol in our application, does it come under 1M2M standards? So I believe the short answer is no, because using HTTP doesn't mean that it's 1M2M standard. HTTP is only way to communicate with your server, but I think there
Yeah.
is more to it than to be 1M2M. So Thierry, can you add to this?
Yes, yeah. HTTP is only a protocol to make the communication, but you need to write a request, one M2M request based on HTTP or CoAP or MQTT. But yes, it's only a protocol that you use, and this is only a way to make the request to the OM2M or 1M2M standard. So it's not enough to make an
Right.
HTTP request.
hello, can you hear me?
So
Yes,
Can you
Laurent.
hear me? Ah, okay, yeah, because I was muted by organizer. Okay, so just to be sure that.
hello, Laurent. So first of
Hello.
all, I make your introduction. So everyone, we have Laurent Welles, and he's the person from 1M2M, which is, as I was sharing with you earlier, it's a global standardization project. And just yesterday, Laurent shared with me that they have won the award for the best IoT standards body. So congratulations, Laurent, and over to you to answer the question.
Thank you for this. So yeah, thank you all for attending this hackathon next week. It's very exciting. So I'm eager to see what's going on this. And I was muted, but I agree with all that Thierry said previously, that just mention that we have the developer page, the developer guide, that you can share the link, Sachin. If they want to know more about 1M2M, they have on the web the developer guides.
Good idea, Laurent. I'll do that immediately.
And we have also the Hackster that we use several times, but I don't know, I think Samir had in mind also to do a new Hackster, so maybe when that will be done, it could be good to share it also, this one. But we can discuss offline on this.
Yeah. So, so somebody is asking Sravani Ramineni that can we get introduction and usage of 1M2M classes on 15? So Sravani, that's the precise idea. So why we are organizing the tutorial is to, make sure that you know it really well. Of course, we will share all the resources with you for self-learning, but the idea of organizing the tutorial on 15 is to make sure that by the evening you can actually build an 1M2M application. So a question to you, Laurent and Thierry, since there are new releases of 1M2M every time, which release of 1M2M we are going to teach? Should the students know that? Would it impact?
Thierry can only reply, but at the moment, the version that we will use of OM2M is release 2. So it doesn't make sense to go further. There are a lot of features after, but for what we will do, it's enough release 2, I think.
Is that okay, Thierry? Because if
Yes.
Laurent wants me to share.
Yes, it's correct. We use implementation that implement release 2 of 1M2M, and it's enough to do a lot of things.
Because
I can't hear you, Sachin.
Yeah, Sachin, we can't hear you anymore.
connection, can you hear me, Thierry, now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thierry, Laurent,
Sachin.
can you hear me?
Yes,
We
yes.
can hear you.
Yeah,
And we see your slides.
so I was saying that I'll share the release to developer guide with participants.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe if we have one more question. So last question, I think we have answered many questions, but for you, Thierry and Samir, I want to show one slide. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So do you remember this guy in the photo?
He is the winner of the second hackathon. Is it right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So yesterday in the course at IIIT, he was teaching a lab session on 1M2M.
Oh,
Great.
excellent.
So the good thing is that, you know, what I was telling the students, that you don't have to always win the Europe trip when you participate in the hackathon. But you can also, let's say, when you learn something which is technical, it adds to your resume. And in case of Suraj, he has now become an instructor in IIIT teaching 1M2M. So isn't it a good achievement?
He's excellent. So you can congratulate him.
Yes, so I just received these photos yesterday from IIIT because they're running an IoT course and they wanted somebody to come and teach, 1M, 2M. So Suraj is one such person. So I think with this hackathon in Pune, we are waiting for, many more Suraj to come. And another very interesting thing that I was sharing with students, that we have access to the live data of Pune Smart City this time, which makes this hackathon very unique. So something which has not been done in India. So apart from what we would have, from the kits and the sensors, students can also use, let's say, the real sensors from the Pune Smart City, which can give them pollution data and so forth. So we can also showcase to the city authorities ideas that they can actually implement in their city.
Excellent.
So students can make a big impact this time because our host is Pune Smart City. So they really look forward for bright ideas from students. So I think Thierry and Sameer, we are not receiving questions anymore. So I just wanted to reinforce some of the points that I shared with the students when you joined, before you joined. So I would really thank every one of you, and I look forward to meeting you in Pune, 9 a.m. sharp on 15th of April, so that we can start our tutorial on time. And thank you, Laurent, and thank you, Thierry, for coming all the way from France to India. And I hope you will also enjoy the hackathon as much as we enjoy organizing it every time.
Thank you very much, Sachin. We are very excited to come again in India and meet students and work together.
Yeah, thank you very much for making it happen.
Yes. Okay. Look forward to meet you all. See you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.